Morning Bay.
Get to know about the traffic on your way and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's
Good Morning Bay.
Good morning Bay. आप सभी लोग हमारे तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते.
Namaskar.
Vanakkam.
Namaskara.
Khushamdeed.
Assalamualaikum.
Sat Shri Akal.
Meek Andariki Vandanamu.
Jai Swami Narayan.
Jai Shri Krishna.
जय जिनेंद्र.
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोल दे या अली मदद.
मोनाली मदद बोलते हुए सारे फीजी मंदिर बोलेंगे नीसा बुल्ला बदजान हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा मैं से फालतू बाबा.
And of course, myself, Altu Rani, लेकर आपके लिए एक और drive time that's going to make it totally exciting and totally mastani bandujani.
True that Banajan, of course, आज है 239th day of sheltering in place. मतलब, yeah, we already crossed that particular half-yearly mark. Probably it's going on into the entire year. People say that probably our count will go to 300 also, 365. Well, actually, but the whole 2020 is kind of a wash of many people. The economy is opening up, yes, but at the same time, we also see that even the coronavirus is actually coming back with a vengeance. We'll talk about other news items for sure for you guys, but for now, let's go see what's happening on the roads. With Raste ka haal ekdam total sustenance.
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Happening on the roads. Well, for now, I'll tell you nothing much happening on the roads. Veterans Day today. So, yes, it's a day we observe and remember all the people who have laid down their lives for us to be free right now, and for us to have a democratic process, which is being challenged right now by the Trump president, who we have for the 45th president of our times, our history. We've had 46 presidents for the gentleman. President like this 46, of course, but can you imagine, of all those people, the worst is going to be this guy. Seems like, I don't know, it's like, he's doing counter to what all he's doing, and he's now recruiting people, cronies of his, into even the armed forces right now, right? So it's kind of disturbing to understand what's happening over here, but at the same time, you should not give up hope is what I say. There are good people out there who are still, are trying to make sure they can keep a democratic process for us here in the US. We'll talk more about that in the news for sure. Let's see, I just see recently coming up right now, update of a disabled vehicle of 101 southbound at Tully Road. It is not blocking traffic, but it definitely is a hazard. Watch out for that. But what really is blocking traffic is an accident with injuries on 280 northbound south of 7th Street in San Jose. The left lane is blocked. The blockage is all the way until 101 Banajan. And 101 ke paas is really heavy. This is going towards south of 280. That's heading towards 880 Banajan. If you really want to know what exactly how. Sorry, not 880. Going towards. I'm so sorry, but it actually is not south. This actually is northbound. 280 northbound. It actually crosses even the 880 goes further that side, right? So actually is the northbound. It crosses going towards 17 from 101. And the blockage is all the way, as I told you, covers all the way until 101. Seems like as though it's the regular traffic, but no. It's just that the accident is very severe in that region. Apart from that, there's no other advisory for the other parts of the Bay Area. But on 80 eastbound and westbound on the Bay Bridge, there's advice of high winds, which are pretty much coming in because of the weather, I suppose. We're gonna have probably in the 60s, not much. It's going to be cold day. No rain forecasted because it's going to be cloudy, but the forecast for rain is actually for tomorrow, not today. So probably we'll have some showers tomorrow, but today it's going to be cloudy. So layer up for sure, Balajan, and cold cream. Very important, cold cream. At the same time, sanitize. Wash your hands, stay hygienic, eat healthy, and exercise, most importantly, and try to de-stress. Listen to shows like ours, shows like in the evening we had the Pam Pam show, morning with Good Morning Bay. Morning, of course, the day we totally stress you out because Father brings us so much of news from all over the place, especially talks about what's happening with America and that slippery slope we're going to go into. All this he'll talk about. It'll test you out for sure. But anyway, relax, take a deep breath. Wait for us to come back in the evening at 5 o'clock and totally de-stress you guys. That's the update for you. But right now, Bajan, let's see what's happening with the headlines. Fadhani, can you share some headlines with us for right now?
Yes, Alto Baba.
Yeah, and what's the headlines for today?
Well, Biden plans to move into the White House. He says he's going to get right to work even as Trump clings to hope. As we had talked about yesterday, President Donald Trump fired Secretary of Defense Mark Esper, and after his firing, the White House has now moved Trump loyalists into key Pentagon jobs. So all the chiefs who were at Pentagon, they're all being replaced by Trump loyalists. Concerns about the C word, Madhujan, the coup attempt as Trump replaces Pentagon leadership and refuses to concede. Trump files fresh election challenge suit as Biden plans the presidential transition. Trump campaign sues Michigan to prevent the certification of Biden's win. Georgia is going to be conducting a full hand recount of election ballots. Pompeo, Secretary of State Pompeo voices confidence for second Trump administration, then softens tone on post-election transition. If we'll try to see if we can bring you some key tallies in some undetermined states in the U.S. 2020 presidential race. Sullivan wins re-election in Alaska, giving Republicans 50 seats in the Senate, according to Edison Research. Republican Senator Tillis also clinches re-election as Chris Cunningham concedes. So that's 50 Republicans who now have Senate seats. U.S. Republicans also hint at limited time for Trump to make his post-election case. Let's talk about coronavirus. U.S. COVID-19 hospitalizations surged to record highs of just over 59,000 patients, according to a Reuters tally. Cold storage challenges could hamper the distribution of Pfizer, Moderna COVID-19 vaccines, according to Dr. Anthony Fauci. Facebook extends the ban on US political ads for another month. Apple, as we mentioned yesterday, has launched MacBooks powered by their own computing chips called M1. BMW CEO is weighing options for mobility JV with Daimler. And they also are unveiling electric SUV to challenge the Tesla. Plans their US launch in early 2022. Air taxi startup Lilium's first US hub is going to be in Florida. India is going to be regulating streaming services and online content, including Amazon Prime, Netflix, and Hotstar, and all these different services.
Wow.
Yes. And more tech executives right now are being hired than tech critics on Biden's transition team, and it has a very large number of South Asians on it.
Oh my goodness, because they supported the elections, right? Yeah, that's wonderful.
Arnab Goswami is now out of the Taloja jail and hours after the Supreme Court grants interim bail. And the government of India is planning around $20 billion of new stimulus, according to a new report.
Wonderful. And right up, let's go see what's with the Ghana Kira for you guys. It's a very nice key that Ghana picked up for you guys from this movie called, it's called what? I forget. Bharat. Yes. It's a song called Zinda, because tough times, but Jan, you got to grill it out. You got to go, I'm going to be there. I'm going to persist. That's what you got to do right now, Jan. And that's exactly, I think, even Trump is trying to do. He's going through a tough time. He's saying, no, I'll persist as a president. I'm not going to give up.
खाक से बना हूँ मैं खाक ही बन जाऊंगा सीने में लेके आग में वक्त से लड़ जाऊंगा खाक से बना हूँ मैं खाक ही बन जाऊंगा सीने में लेके आग में वक्त से लड़ जाऊंगा दिल के भंवर में है डूबा मेरा सफीना हाँ सफीना वो दुआ है मेरी रब से की थामे मुझको यूं ही तुझ तुझ में रहूंगा जिंदा तोड़ के सब जंजीरें मैं आजाद परिंदा
And of course, Benjan, if you haven't seen the movie, it was okay. I like the concept of the movie. It was interesting. Like, tracking down the life of a common man. And that being he's being the hero of the whole movie. Thoda bahut masala hua tha at the end of the day, but chalega. I don't know, it's a Salman Khan movie. You've got to give so much of leeway for him, anyways, to air.
Yeah.
Chalega. Kar de. People like it. People go watch it because they like to see Salman Khan and Katrina Kaif, like forever in love kind of a thing. Are they going to get together? Is a question everybody has. Anyway, but today's evening is going to be a wonderful show for you guys. You actually can relate to what the show is going to be about. We'll talk about it. But abhi ke liye, Banjan, let's go see what's happening with the news in detail. Faltani, what do you have news in detail for us? I really want to ask you. Somebody on Facebook posted saying that, I think Bashir Bhai says, please don't have to talk about Corona advices because Corona seems to be a hoax, he says. Is it really a hoax?
What?
No, this is sentiment of many people. I kind of, why I'm talking about that, what he shared with us is because this is sentiment of many people out there, Faltani. Even Trump, for the matter of a long time, he said, oh, it's a hoax. Correct?
What? Really?
That's what they said. So what do you think? What's happening in the news? Let's share some data so we can clear people's misconception about it.
Yes, we will share that, Altibaba. I just wanted to quickly update you on something else that I wanted to tell people that, if sometimes it's nice to just, like Altu says, take a deep breath and look around you and take in the things that are beautiful around you. And tonight, the sky is going to be lighting up. It's going to be
showers, comet showers?
Yeah, the meteor showers tonight. So the sky is going to...
the aliens celebrating Diwali.
Oh, the aliens celebrating Diwali, kya bola?
Oh. The aliens are celebrating Diwali, I said.
Okay, so this is the torrid, it's called the Northern Torrid Meteor Shower, Banjan, and it peaks today and tomorrow. So grab a lawn chair and gaze at the stars and enjoy the meteor shower.
Yeah, but make sure you put it on the lawn, not inside your house, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
You see all the ceiling fan or you see something else on the ceiling, which should not be seen.
Yeah, exactly. So let's come to, you wanted to know about the coronavirus, right, Altibaba?
Yeah, update around about the virus. What's happening? I read yesterday we shared that the cases went up.
Yes.
Okay.
The US has hit a record number of coronavirus hospitalizations, and according to the latest AP News report, Banjan, it has surpassed now 1 million new confirmed cases in just the first 10 days of November. These latest grim milestones amid a relentless nationwide surge of infections that shows no signs of slowing. The new virulent wave appears bigger and more widespread than the surges that happened in the spring and summer and threatens to be worse. Deaths are climbing again, reaching an average of more than 930 deaths a day. However, experts say medical and testing advances give them reason to believe that the nation is better able to deal with the virus this time, according to Mike Stobbe. Texas has become the first state to surpass 1 million infections.
Wow.
According to the Johns Hopkins website, the state recorded 1,010,364 cases early today with 19,337 deaths since the pandemic began in early March. One important thing also to note, Banjan, is this is raging across the world as well. In Lebanon, in Iran, in Iran it's even worse, Banjan, because there is a cemetery crisis. They don't have, in their 50-year history, they're right now at a point where they're not able to find space to bury people who are dying from coronavirus.
Wow.
It is such a horrible problem to have. And Brazil's Samba, Padre Miguel Samba, who a school in Rio, would be a hive of preparation for actually the carnival, but it is not a normal year, and due to that, the carnival is cancelled, thankfully. And also, business travel may never look the same in the wake of the coronavirus right now. Consulting firm McKinsey & Company say that it took international business travel 5 years to recover after the 2008 recession. And that's chilling news for hotels, airlines, and others that rely on business travelers. So that's another huge issue that's going to be cropping up for people who are entirely reliant on business travel. Now, let's go on over and let's talk a little bit about what is going on with the rundown with regard to what Trump is doing and what's happening with Joe Biden, President-elect Joe Biden. President Donald Trump's campaign pushed ahead on Wednesday with its long-shot litigation strategy, trying to upend Joe Biden's victory in the November 3rd U.S. election by filing a lawsuit in Michigan, even as the former vice president focused on laying the foundation for his incoming administration. The president's team went to federal court to try to block Michigan, a Midwestern battleground state that he won in 2016, but lost to Biden in media projections from certifying the election results. Trump trailed by roughly 148,000 votes, or about 2.6 percentage points in unofficial Michigan vote totals. Trump has declined to concede the election to the Democrat Biden, instead lodging a flurry of lawsuits in pivotal states to try to back up his unsupported claims of widespread voting fraud. The Michigan lawsuit also made allegations of misconduct in voting. Jake Rollo, a spokesman for the Michigan Department of State, said in a statement that the Trump campaign was promoting false claims to erode public confidence in Michigan's elections. After the Esper firing, the White House has installed a Trump loyalist in a key Pentagon post on Tuesday and promoted another one who has falsely called President Barack Obama. They've promoted this person to a key Pentagon post, and this person called Barack Obama a terrorist.
Hey, as long as he's in line with the sentiment of the Supreme Leader, come on. I told you, I called this long time ago. Right? Yes,
calling a former president of the country a terrorist?
No, I said...
While he was president of the United States.
Can I tell you one thing? I am talking about the guy, in aligning with the concept or thought process of the Supreme Leader. That is Trump. If Trump says no, it has to be no for all the followers of Trump.
I don't know about you, Bandhajan, but I feel right now the Democrats are taking a little too easy at this point. We are bringing knives to a gunfight.
Nah, I don't think so.
I think that's what's happening.
Nah.
I mean, where does it stop? Because
they are bringing posters and slogans to a gunfight. That's what you should say.
Well, they are anyway. Further reshuffling at the Pentagon is now also raising concern among Democrats about whether U.S. national security policy may become unsettled as Trump exits office, because it's clear that there's not going to be a smooth transition of power. Talk of a coup in the world's premier democracy is ticking up after Trump fired the top Pentagon leadership and replaced them with his loyalists, including Indian American aide Kash Patel, while refusing to concede the election. In a related development, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo dismissed talk of a transition into a Biden administration that is actually a violation of Geneva Convention, okay? And maintained that there will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration, even though many world leaders, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi from India, have congratulated the Biden-Harris team on their victory.
Hey, but come on, the cronies of Trump haven't accepted it still. Like Xi Jinping, Putin has accepted it, and all the other autocratic leaders of the world.
Look at the people who haven't accepted it. These are all autocrats. You're right.
Even Saudi Arabia has not accepted it, Fazwan.
Right.
Come on, what are you talking about?
Right, where there are monarchies, Bandhajan. So think about it.
We have autocratic leader right now. Our supreme leader Trump is trying to cut back his throne.
Well, either way, the twin developments came even as Trump continued to dig in and insist that he has won the election or will win after recounts, and any other verdict would be a result of rigging, even though polling officials throughout the country say there is no evidence of any kind of large-scale fraud. The post-election survey showed that 79% of the people polled believe that Biden has won this election, with 13% saying that the election has still not been decided and only 3% saying that Trump has won. Even key Republican officials at state level involved in the election process say that there is no evidence of significant fraud that would change the results of the election. Rebuff that irked the president into lashing out at his own party men. You can actually get more information about that on mediamahima.com, Bandhajan. As I mentioned, the lawsuit now that he has filed in Michigan is to prevent the certification of the Michigan results, right? Because that was the first key swing state that switched, right? So he doesn't want that, and he's fighting that. But And now Georgia, CNN hasn't called it, neither has the Associated Press. Georgia's top election official now has said that the state will conduct a recount of all paper ballots that were cast in the November 3rd presidential election. Mathematically, you actually have to do a full hand-by-hand recount of all because the margin is so close, even though Biden leads by several thousand votes. Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger said at a news conference, and he said, we went to start this. We are going to be starting this before the week is up, so this can easily go into December, the recount again. Pompeo is, as I mentioned, is voicing confidence for second Trump administration, and then he softens his tone on the post-election transition. He appears to be rejecting Democrat Joe Biden's election victory over President Trump, but hours after his withering criticism over his comments, Pompeo, a close ally and appointee of Trump, in a Fox News interview appeared to soften his tone. I'm very confident that we will have a good transition, that we will make sure that whoever is in office on the January 20th has all the tools readily available so we don't skip a beat with capacity to keep Americans safe. Before that, he said there will be a smooth transition, and he thinks it's funny, he actually says, to a second Trump administration.
So sweet. It's a funny
No,
thing.
it is actually a violation of the Geneva Convention.
Okay, whatever, fine, I get it.
Okay.
You're talking like a Trump. You're talking like a Democrat, totally liberal. What is this?
No, it's
My goodness.
be
come
quiet
on.
with your liberal and
Hey,
Democrat
get ready
thing.
for a regime where you'll have to wear Trump hats and walk around. It's like imagine to be like Afghanistan right now. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming up where we'll be having unrest and everything. All that will happen because he's going to continue second term, right? And then afterwards, going to be the next. All his successors will come. Eventually we'll have a female president also. You never know. That's right.
Ivanka Trump?
Yeah, Supreme Leader might actually decide to say, oh, okay, fine, Americans can now have a female president who I can control. Yeah.
Okay. All right, if you say so. But let's tell you, right?
Being sarcastic, but
Yeah. I hope people know that he's being sarcastic, Banjam. But people take
first of all,
whatever-
you should know I'm being sarcastic.
No, Altubaba.
You don't know. You are like totally. She's very emotional, but that's fine. Newscaster should not be emotional, but she's very emotional. That's fine. I get it already. But what's happening with the business world, though?
Well, let's tell you some latest tallies, electoral tallies. 279 electoral votes to Biden. Trump is at 217. The popular vote is now at 77,320,380 for Biden, 72,221 for Trump. Arizona is 49.4% Biden is leading with 98% of the estimated vote tallied. Georgia is at 49.5% with the 99% of the estimated vote tallied. And North Carolina, which has 15 electoral votes, Biden is at 48.7% and Trump is at 50% with 98% of the votes tallied. Two Senate key races went to the Republicans. U.S. Republican Senator Dan Sullivan of Alaska won re-election in Alaska, and of course the other race, Republican Senator Tom Tillis managed to retain his U.S. Senate seat in North Carolina against Democrat Cal Cunningham. And of course, he was leading, but Cunningham eventually conceded. Apparently, it was a closely fought contest between the two, which cements 50 seats for the Republicans in the Senate. U.S. Republicans are also now hinting at a limited time for Trump to make his post-election case. They are getting in line behind him, Altubaba, most of them, including Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham and all these people, because right now they wanted to maintain their own leadership, right, to make sure Mitch McConnell is continuing to be the Senate Majority Leader and whoever the whip is to continue there as well. Let's tell you in terms of business news, Bandajan, really quickly, with regard to COVID-19, and Dr. Anthony Fauci on Wednesday said that it's going to be challenging to distribute vaccines that use messenger RNA-based technology in developing countries owing to their cold storage requirements. The comments came day after Pfizer Inc. said its experimental COVID-19 vaccine is more than 90% effective based on initial trial results, and that it expects to file for U.S. emergency authorizations this month. Facebook has extended their ban on political ads for another month, or because there's a whole bunch of election misinformation raging online, so they're not going to allow any more political ads. Apple Inc. introduced the MacBook Air notebook and other machines with its first central processor designed in-house for Macs, a move that will tie its computers and iPhones closer together technologically, and this chip is called M1 and marks a shift away from Intel technology that has driven the electronic brains of Mac computers for nearly 15 years. And get ready, Tesla, move over, because BMW is unveiling their electric SUV to challenge Tesla, and their launch is going to be, it's called the iX, and it's planned to go on sale in the United States in early 2022 to compete with Tesla and other rivals. It should have a driving range of 300 miles. That's less than the estimated driving range of Tesla Model X long range, which is 371 miles in the United States. So you can find out more about it. It looks beautiful, the car, and I'm waiting for it. And if you want to catch up on all this, you can go to mediamahima.com. That's all we have time for on this morning's Good Morning Bay. We'll be back tonight, live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show. Have a wonderful Wednesday.